Greetings, research methods and psychology students. My name is Dave Detman. I'm one of the librarians here in the UWSP library, and this short video is designed to familiarize you with finding peer-reviewed articles using the library's main search interface called Search at UW. Your research requirement for this particular class is to find 2 peer-reviewed articles dealing with the Stroop effect, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, to complement the one article that you will be provided. Before we do a quick search in Search at UW and I point out some important features, I do want to point to what is possibly the most important link on the library website. That's to contact us. If you have any questions at all about the research that you're doing, you can reach us via email, you can call us. During the week, we have online chats, so you can have a synchronous real-time interaction with the librarian. We even do Zoom research consultations where we'll meet with you or you and your group at your convenience and make sure that when that experience is over, that you've got the best information for whatever project you're working on. Okay, Search at UW, what is it? Well, it's a revolutionary search tool that allows us to search over 95% of the nearly 200 databases that we subscribe to. So instead of having to go from one database to the next, that used to be the process. This is really sort of one-stop shopping. We get to search an incredible amount of content with just one keystroke. So I'm going to put in my key terms. Yours may differ depending on what your particular interest is. And so here we're coming back with definitely not a low number of results, plenty of things to choose from. Now, the key thing to point out right away is that the requirement is for a peer-reviewed article. So you'll notice that there's 3,739 results, 3,198 of which are considered peer-reviewed. I'm sure your professor will talk a little bit about peer review, but it's essentially a measure of authority and credibility. Experts in a field are editors of a journal, and they determine whether or not the article is impactful enough to be included in their publication. Many of these articles are immediately accessible right from this return screen. So anytime you see download PDF, you can open the PDF right from here. I'll point out a couple of other neat features. Find sources citing this. Obviously, if you find an article that's really relevant for what the research you're doing, looking at the sources that the author used is useful, and that would be the last page with the references and works cited. This is the opposite. This is forward citation tracking. So we could generate a whole new list of items or articles that have cited this article since its publication. So it's really a neat way to determine if something is having an impact on the field or not. We can create a citation right from this main screen. APA is, of course, the preferred citation method for psychology. And that's where we're jumping into the newest edition here. So that's just a matter of cutting and pasting that works cited, the citation into your works cited page. Oftentimes the article is not immediately accessible from this main search screen. So for example, I don't see a download PDF for this first one. So we actually have to take an extra step. Click the article title and then click any of these resources beneath the View It text. So Search at UW is essentially just saying these are all of the resources of the nearly 200 you subscribe to that have this article in its full text. So clicking anywhere will bring us to it. A couple of other things to point out very quickly. Sometimes a research project will be very date sensitive, and so we could set the creation date to maybe the last 10 years if we just wanted to look at things that were a little bit more current. Search at UW also has sort of a relevance ranking, and they'll take sort of topics within the articles and bring back ones that most heavily deal with different topics. That can be useful sometimes, especially when you have a really, really large set of results, or for example, you want to work with a certain population. In this case, they're breaking out young adult and adolescent as well as adult. You might only be interested in one gender in terms of the research that you're doing. You can do that there as well. So pretty straightforward, accessible from off campus, of course. You will be asked to authenticate username and password. The reason being that we take a portion of your tuition dollars to pay for these articles ahead of time, knowing that it's the kinds of things that your professors want to see when they flip to your Works Cited page. Very quickly, I just want to show Google Scholar. I always recommend that researchers search there in addition to search at UW. The reason being, a couple reasons. One is that the algorithm it uses to bring relevant results to the top is different than what Search at UW uses. So you might see something in Scholar that's really good that was maybe 30 or 40 or 50 results down in Search at UW and vice versa. Also, Google Scholar is what's considered a hybrid resource. It knows a percentage of the full text content that we subscribe to and make available to researchers. In order to maximize Google Scholar and that integration with library resources, you need to select UWSP as your home library. And you can do that very easily by clicking on the 3 bars in Google Scholar, then clicking on Settings, and then going ahead and clicking on Library Links. Here you enter University of Wisconsin-Stevens Point. Oh, I'm sorry about that, folks. This is the real world. Phone just went off. You can go ahead and put in University of Wisconsin-Stevens Point, set that as your home library. Then what happens is when we run a search, we get some bonus links off to the right-hand side. So these are things on the right-hand side. These links you would not see unless you set UWSP Libraries as your home library. Because again, now it knows that you are affiliated with UWSP and it will provide you with these links. In many cases, folks, when you click on the title of the article on the left-hand side, you're going to run into a paywall. They're going to want you to pay $20, $30, $40. So always be looking for these PDF links off to the right-hand side. Those are going to be your best bets for getting at that full text. And finally, I want to point out, well, almost finally, a couple of other things quick, is that this Find It link is integrated with Search at UW. So when you click Find It, what it will do is interface with Search at UW to see, is this article available anywhere through the UWSP resources? And you can see here it is, available in one of the journal packages that we subscribe to. So we could click here to arrive at that full text. So it's really kind of a neat mutual relationship that Google Scholar and Search at UW have. You can also create a citation within Google Scholar, similar to what we saw in Search at UW. You can see works that cited this article since it was published, again, like we saw in Search at UW. So some of the similar features are there as well. I always like to end these sessions like I began them. If you have any questions at all about the research that you're doing at any point in time in your academic careers, do not hesitate to contact us. My goal every day getting up and coming to work as a librarian is to help students save time, connect them as quickly and efficiently as possible with the best information so that the actual process of getting the paper done or the presentation done can begin. Thank you for your time. Have a great semester, and I hope to get a chance to work with some of you.